Greetings and welcome to the presentation I have prepared for the consultancy work I have done for an international small renewable energy company in assessing the issue of poor land agents retention in the last 2 years. Simply Energy is a Romanian-based renewable energy company with experience in the business of approximately 10 years. The company has experience in development, construction and operation of large-scale solar parks on multiple markets. So far, it has been active in the solar industry, but at this point, it also has in incipient phases green hydrogen and storage projects. Currently, Simply Energy only focuses on the development of large-scale projects. By development, I mean everything from identifying a market to producing ready-to-build projects and then selling the project to strategic buyers such as investment funds, pension funds, or energy companies. The core development team based in Romania has 8 members, and the whole staff associated with the company accounts for 15 employees and collaborators. This map shows the energy markets where Simply Energy has been or is active currently around the world. The North American businesses are the more mature and consolidated ones, while the European, Romania and UK, are in more incipient phases. For this consulting project, I choose the iterative consulting process formulated by Julie Hodge, since the project is focused on driving change. Due to the long term required for the results to be measured, the consultancy project only focuses on the first 4 steps, ending after the intervention. The process starts with the initial contact. In my case, since I'm a permanent consultant for the company on project development, I noticed this issue happening several times and decided to open a discussion with the CEO. The CEO then described the issue in the way he sees it, and after several informal meetings, we decided to sign a contract as described also in the process as being the next step. In step 3, I have gathered, analyzed and interpreted the data to diagnose the cause or causes for the problem. Afterwards, I have discussed again with the company board to agree on how the change will be made, so the intervention will be designed. Since there was quite a lot of discussion and agreement seeking along the process, out of the 3 consulting orientation models also developed by Julie Hodge, the one that I chose was the business partner. During the initial contact with the CEO and the business development vice president, I confirmed that Simply Energy does not have a formal mission, vision, and statement. Yet, it is a company with high entrepreneurial spirit, and the success recorded in the last years enables the company to look into enlarging the team and the markets where it is present. Still, even though there are several campaigns of recruitment, the success was very limited, and in the sense that out of 10 agents recruited, only 2 are still with the company. This resulted in a lower number of projects than expected and significant financial loss. Then we decided to sign a contract in which we established what, how, when, and why we will be doing in the consultancy project. Also, we agreed that the financial incentive for me will be defined as 1% of the yearly wage of the next 5 land agents that will stay with Simply Energy for more than 1 year. This was possible due to the personal relationship I have already with the management team. Besides confirming the company strategy and how big the issue is with the company, I also wanted to understand how the new employees, in particular land agents, are integrated in the company once they are recruited. I wanted to know what kind of trainings the company has in the induction phases, what financial compensations the land agents receive, and what was the average time the agents stayed with the company. Upon signing the contract, I moved into the diagnose and analysis phase and started looking at the business problem, following the framework developed by Wickham. The rational, cognitive, and political aspects of the issue were put under loop to enable a more objective analysis. The rational aspect defines the issue itself, and it shows how I can add value to the client, in this case enabling the company to retain its land agents for a longer period. The cognitive aspect shows what kind of perception there is within the organization regarding the issue and how I, as a consultant, should communicate and influence the client. And the political aspect of the issue reveals the supporting and blocking forces acting on the organization. Understanding them is crucial for the success of the project. Based on the contract, the team elaborated a project charter which sets out the objectives, scope, and responsibilities. Is this a document meant to standardize and make available to anyone involved in the project or not? How the project will happen, and what will be the limitations throughout the project lifecycle. It sets out the time frame, the business need the project is based on, the project scope, deliverables, risks and issues, assumptions, the financial aspect, the milestones, the project team, and the approval and review committee. Next, since Simply Energy does not have a formal organization chart, I put one together to be able to understand how the company is structured. The main finding was that project managers are the direct contacts with the land agents. The project managers are the ones that indicate project locations, develop negotiation tactics with the landowners, together with the land agents, and lead the development of the project from the beginning to the end, having the land agents present in different phases of the project. This revealed the important role that the PMs have as direct superiors of land agents. I considered also a stakeholder analysis adapted after Lowy and Hood was needed to outline the essential people I had to communicate with about the progress and scope of the project, the topics I had to keep them informed about, and the project progress, and how often I should speak to each stakeholder. The CEO was confirmed as the main driver of the change, and the vice president, acting also as an operational manager, was identified as an important decision maker. Another finding was that, based on some important discussions, the corporate counselor had very little interest on the subject, yet the legal aspect it has on the performance of the land agents is high, as understanding the contract and being able to negotiate is crucial for their success. The key players in the project were the CEO and the BD vice president. The ones that I had to keep informed were the director for project development and the project managers, and it was important to keep satisfied the corporate counselor and the North American director for project development. To address the general image of the organization, I developed a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis helped me to assess internal and factors that might affect the business, strengths and weaknesses, and external factors, opportunities and threats related to the current consultancy project. The main internal findings related to the SWOT analysis were the fact that the company has an entrepreneurial culture and is financially stable, but it has no organization established in the market where it is active, even in the US where it is mostly active, and it has the longest history. All the decisions have to be made by the central development team. Any management meetings have to be made with expensive traveling, and from the new employee's perspective, this is not a renowned brand. Externally, the opportunities lie in the high number of real estate agents and land agents on the market, and that renewable energy is an industry that is hot at the moment, meaning that a lot of talent would be willing to join it. Yet, there are a lot of players growing in the industry as well, and since the company is acting on different markets, it means that it has to do with a multitude of cultures. To address directly the analyzed issue, a set of interviews was conducted with the key stakeholders. Also, since there was no formal exit interview, 4 land agents that are no longer with the company were contacted and asked if they would be willing to share their experience with Simply Energy and the reasons why they believe they did not succeed. All the land agents confirmed that the financial proposals were good, and the main reason to choose to join Simply Energy was the opportunity to have a stake in the projects that they were working on. Yet, the main issue identified was related to the fact that they did not feel supported. There was no standardized way of communication. The company culture and general strategy was not presented to them, which made them feel they were not part of a trustful organization. But the main finding was that they felt like there was no formal knowledge transfer to enable them to perform sooner. Based on the interviews and the SWOT analysis, the tool developed by Ishikawa, the Ishikawa diagram was developed to synthesize the main reasons for the issue. The purpose for this tool was to outline the different steps within the process and determine the actual causes. The causes were grouped in 5 subjects: leadership, communication, structure, lack of support, and trust. Then, by analyzing the findings with the CEO and the vice president, whom by this time has given his buy-in, the decision was to focus the current consultancy project on communication and structure and have recommendations on the other 3 aspects. Having the findings from the diagnosis analysis step, we moved into the intervention step. According to the agreement mentioned in the previous slide, it was further agreed that the following will be delivered as documents: workflow for land agents, a communication procedure for progress status, a Q&A document capturing details about Simply Energy, the solar business, lessons learned, and the negotiation guidelines. Also, the corporate counselor was involved in the project to prepare a legal induction training on the contracts the agents will use in their work. Secondly, a set of mid-term suggestions for improvement were asked. The workflow procedure was developed together with the project managers and it had the buy-in of the vice president. It was structured as a manual describing each step and informing what it was expected from the agent. To enable a standardized communication for the stakeholders, but mostly between the project managers and the land agent, a communication procedure for land acquisition process status was implemented. This would enable the project manager to access at any point the details of the negotiation, acknowledge the progress, and share the information as needed in a quick and standardized. Structured as a Q&A, the document was developed to enhance new land agents' knowledge regarding the company structure, culture, achievements, and serve also as a tool to go to with relation to the solar industry project constraints or financial and size parameters for the project. Next, based on the other findings from Ishikawa analysis, 3 suggestions were made to Simply Energy regarding the future improvements that can be made in making land agents more integrated in the organization and more successful. The first one is the suggestion of bringing new land agents to the main development office in Romania for a limited amount of time to familiarize with the team and the organization. This matter addresses the trust matter and the cultural differences. Secondly, a competency system should be structured to assess how the agent is performing and progressing. The main idea is to make clear the steps the land agent needs to accomplish in order to become a project developer. Thirdly, as identified based on the discussion with the CEO, the company should develop a structure that is self-sustained and can make own decisions in the markets where the company intends to stay for a longer period. The tool for organization analysis and improvement suggested here was the viability system model. The second and the third suggestion can also make future consultancy projects for myself. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.